everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be focusing on a palette that I bought at iMatte but just never got the opportunity to use before now, because the holiday palette started coming out in September and it really never ended until maybe mid-December. So anyway, the palette I'm talking about is the Viseart Editorial Brights palette. This is all mattes. I've been so excited to get my hands on this. The look I'm focusing on today is basically a rainbow. It just wraps around the eye. So we're starting with yellows, oranges, reds on the top, but it curls around and you see greens, blue, and purple underneath. I love to wear bright colors, and if I get an opportunity to wear a rainbow, I will take every advantage and do so. So I hope you enjoy the look and keep on watching if you want to learn how to do it. Alright, starting with both of my primers, I'm going in with the Milani Eyeshadow Primer and the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I let the first one dry a little bit and then I go in with the second one. Alright, next step, I'm going in with my Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil by NYX. This is the Milk shade, and I'm just creating a white base so that the matte shades stick to it a lot better. Now, I apply a fair amount, mostly on my lid. And then just blend it out with my fingers. It doesn't keep the lid totally opaque, but it's enough of a plain base so that the colors are more true to themselves. So now I'm going in with my Editorial Brights palette by Viseart, and these are all matte shades. Taking a MAC 239, I am going into the yellow shade, and I'm putting that on the inner corner of my eye. Right over top of that base. And I've already forgotten my transition color. So what I normally do before I apply lid colors is I put a medium brown into the crease just so that it's easier to blend. So before I go any further with the lid shades, I'm just going to apply MAC's Cork right into my crease. And I've said this before, but because I have quite hooded eyes, I apply my crease shade quite high up so that it blends easier. Alright, now that I've finally applied my crease color, I'm going back into the Viseart Editorial Brights palette and picking up the orange shade. And I'm going to apply that right beside the yellow, just on the middle of my lid. To blend between the two colors, I take the same brush and flip back and forth between the yellow and the orange, and just keep messing with it until it blends into the other one. So I'll apply the orange a little bit over the edge of the yellow, and then go back into the yellow in the palette and place it right over. Since the orange is stronger, I will need more yellow to overpower the orange. And you can see it's starting to transition a little bit better between the two. So to continue the gradient from yellow to orange, I'm now going to add red to the outer corner. For this one, I'm using the Base Shadow Brush by Real Techniques. It's basically the same as a MAC 217. I just want something a little bit fluffier because I might blend it a little bit into the crease. Alright, I'm pretty satisfied with the gradient at this point, but it is really choppy through my crease, so I need to soften that up. I'm going to go back in with MAC's Cork and just make that a softer transition to my brow bone. And to highlight my brow bone, I'm going in with MAC's Blanc Type. This should also soften the crease color a little bit more. Alright, I'm just cleaning up the lower part of my eyes because no matter what, I always get fallout. See? Didn't even look like anything either. All right, I'm going to continue on to my lower lash line. So I'm going to take the NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil in Milk and just line a little bit underneath. And then blend it out with my fingers. All right, so I've already made a warm gradient on the top of my lids. Now I'm going to create a cool gradient on the bottom. I'm going to start with the pale green from the Viseart palette and put that right on the inner corner. And blend it straight into the yellow. Next, I'm going to take the paler blue from the palette, so it's this one right here. And that's going on the center part of the lower lash line. And for the last section on the outer lower lash line, I'm going in with the purple. And once I'm done with the shadows, I'm going back in with some Bioderma. I'm using the HydraBio one. HydraBio. All right, I'm pretty happy with how the eyeshadows look, so I'm gonna add some liquid liner. So I'm using the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. And I'm gonna flick it out because I love a wing. Colme, you want to meet the camera? Okay. Come here, sweetie. This one's Colme, and she doesn't really like to be held for too long. Because I've got a lot of bright colors on my lids, and the black liner is probably not enough to ground it, I'm going to add more liner to my tight line and lower lash line, or lower waterline. So I've fallen in love with the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon in Blacker, so that's what I'm going to be using. Alright, time to curl my lashes and apply some mascara, and for that I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Smoky Stretch. And I'm just going to pop on a pair of false lashes by House of Lash. These are the Bombshell ones. Alright, lashes are applied. Now while the glue dries, I'm going to zoom you back out and work on the rest of my face. I'm going to first prime my face with my Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. And my foundation today is going to be the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, and I am using the shade Y225. And I'm going in with the Miracle Complexion Sponge by Real Techniques. I don't tend to wear concealer, so I use this as I use my foundation as my under eye concealer. So I get up pretty close to where the shadows are. Once I've given my foundation a minute or so to set, I'm going to go in with my bronzer, and today I'm using the Glare Joe Fresh bronzer in Sand. And I'm taking that on my temples, my upper cheekbone, and down around my jawline. And then I just connect all three areas to make sure they blend into each other. And I know a lot of people highlight the bridge of their nose, but I actually prefer to put bronzer there because otherwise I feel like the center of my face is way too stark. And then I just blend it out with the complexion sponge. Time for blush, so I'm going in with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in Diffused Heat. And if you go overboard, just blend it in. And for highlighter, Champagne Pop. Time for eyebrows, I'm using my NYX Tame frame in Blonde. And I'm going to be applying the Too Faced Melted Chocolate in Chocolate Milkshake. That's fairly nude, however, on my skin, so I want to add a little bit more impact. And for that, I'm going to use the Sephora. It's a lip gloss, but there's no specific name on it other than Good Fairy, because I hate putting the wand straight on lipstick because then I end up contaminating the colors. I'm just applying some to the back of my hand and then applying it to my lips.